Hello, my name is Avery Starr. I am a cheerleader at the University of Iowa, and this season is my fourth and final year. As a cheerleader, I cheer for football, men's and women's basketball, volleyball, and wrestling. In my 4 years, I have been around the block a time or two when it comes to fans, and I have seen and experienced a wide range of spectators. Many fans feel as though they are invisible to us cheerleaders on the sidelines. But oftentimes, my most favorite thing to do is watch the fans from the sidelines because they can be particularly entertaining. During the most recent home football game, I went around Kinnick and took pictures of examples of the different kinds of football spectators I come across the most on a usual football Saturday. Here is the result. The I could care less spectator. Now I don't mean to pick on this girl specifically, she just fits the example to perfection. I see this type of spectator almost every game. She is the one who could care less about the fact that she is sitting in the front row of Kinnick Stadium. It takes a lot of dedication to get a front row seat in Kinnick. Most often, this fan is standing next to a boy who is likely her boyfriend, and the only reason that she is suffering through this football game. It makes me sad to see girls like her in the front row, because she is taking away from front row options that another diehard fan who didn't arrive on time is missing out on. At times, I find myself wanting to yell at this girl and tell her that if she would maybe at least try to enjoy herself, it might not feel like such a waste of time. She paid money for a ticket, why not enjoy it? I find it hilarious how many times a picture like this happens. Every single fan around her is raising their eye after a Hawkeye touchdown, and she just can't find it in her dimmed spirit to even look like she is remotely enjoying the moment. The little ones as spectators. The little ones are some of my favorite. Little girls because they are so innocent and they want to be just like me one day. Little boys because they want to be like the big guys out on the field. For many of the little kids I meet on a game day, it is their first time in Kinnick with their parents. I have even seen parents with babies only months old in attendance at a few games in my tenure as a cheerleader. My most favorite little ones are the toddlers because they think everything that happens on the college football sideline is the coolest thing to happen ever. The two photos I have of little kids on the sidelines feature a young boy and his father and another young boy with his even younger sister. The young boy with his father is paying close attention to every move those players make, and the other young boy is showing his sister just how fun Hawkeye football games can be. These pictures go to show that Hawkeye fans, even diehards, come in all shapes and sizes. Getting to meet and high-five these little guys on the sidelines is easily a highlight. The cheerleaders. These are the ultimate spectators. They know everything that is going on during the game while also keeping the fans' energy alive. They are my teammates and also my friends. It is our job to make sure that the morale of the fans stays up, whether we are winning or losing. It's also our job to remember to make sure that our morale stays up, whether we are winning or losing. We are what you would call the believers. We are taught as cheerleaders to never give up hope on the team we are cheering for. If you listen closely during a game that our team is likely to lose, there are many of us contemplating different unlikely scenarios for how exactly we can pull off a win. Many of us also have our own superstitions, which include things that we must do at certain times of the game, things we cannot say during the game, and things we must say during the game to ensure that we will win. During the Iowa vs. Iowa State game last year, we were pretty much guaranteed to win with about 2.5 minutes left, so I went ahead and grabbed the Hawkeye State sign. Almost immediately after doing so, Iowa made a couple huge mistakes, prompting my teammates to put the sign back until the game had officially been won. The Cornhead Diehard. These two men, featured in the pictures, don the infamous Cornhead hat. Iowa is known for both the farming of our corn and our diehard Hawkeye fans. These pictures combine both of those things. These two men do not care how ridiculously stupid they look in those hats. They will do and wear anything for their Hawkeyes. While this game was in fact the Halloween weekend game, these men will likely wear these hats to another Hawkeye game no matter what holiday is near. The Down to Party Spectator. This group of 4 girls and their lovely photo bombers are an example of the ultimate tailgaters who actually made it to the football game. Many other tailgaters are not so lucky. They match to perfection in signature black and gold overalls, along with their winter hats with the pom-poms on top. They have beads around their necks that they likely received during the tailgate, and of course, their outfits are not complete until they have the Tiger Hawk tattoo perfectly placed on their cheek. These are the fun students in my opinion. They have had just enough fun outside of Kinnick Stadium that they are ready to continue that fun inside the stadium. This type of fan will cheer along with us to help keep Kinnick loud the entire game. During the first football game this season, my teammates and I spent at least an entire quarter watching 3 girls thrash around dancing to every single song that was played over the sound system. They are enjoying the game while also just simply enjoying themselves. Go Hawks 1, 2, and 3. These are what I like to call the section people. What I mean by that is, most Hawkeye fans get their seats to the game in the same spots for every game. Whether they are season ticket holders or not, it doesn't matter. The following 3 photos are of my beloved O section. I have been in the O section after touchdowns for my entire 4 years cheering Hawkeye football. During that time, you make friends with those season ticket holders that are there. I may not know their names, but we are bonded every single time we raise our O's together. Oz was a very memorable cheerleader, also part of the O section. He made friends everywhere he went, but most especially with the people of the O section. This year, when we arrived in our corner, the O fans asked about Oz, remembering him from years past. That just goes to show the special bond that you can make with your section. The glued to their phones spectators. This type of fan comes in all shapes and sizes. The girl, usually taking a picture of the cheer or dance team, the back of her favorite player, or taking a selfie with one of her friends that she brought to the game. If she isn't taking pictures, she's checking one of her many social media accounts, looking up in annoyance when the cheering crowd takes her out of her reverie. The boy is taking videos of the action or focused on getting the perfect picture of the star player. He may also be bored out of his mind, looking for something else to pique his interest on his phone. I also see the college student, both girl and boy, constantly looking down to update social media or check their many Snapchats and text messages from the day. In this day and technology age, it is not uncommon for everyone to be on their phones at some point during a sporting event. It seems to me people live through moments through the lens of a camera rather than living in the actual moment. The best example of these fans are during the pregame warm-up. I obviously don't expect anyone to be paying much attention, but when the kicker warms up, your focus should definitely be up. You hear a lot of "heads up" and see a ton of fans not particularly paying attention get rocked, oftentimes in the head, by a ball kicked just a little too far. The camera fans, better known as the photographers. These are possibly some of the most annoying fans I encounter. The photographers, in my opinion, are only at the game to get, and I quote, the picture. Kinnick is not known for its spacious sidelines, and there have been many times I have been bumped into or run down by a guy yielding a camera as his only weapon. As a short person, I'm already at a disadvantage on the field to even have a chance at seeing what exactly is going on before even thinking about dealing with the photographers leaning in to capture the perfect moment. Sometimes, cameramen make the mistake of running behind the cheerleaders. Never ever make the mistake of running behind a cheerleader. I have and will flip without warning, almost landing on the unsuspecting cameraman or photographer. Those fans paying no attention. This type of fan is usually a girl. She isn't too worried about where everyone else is looking. And by that, I obviously mean the game. You know, the reason 70,000 other people around her are cheering, and I am standing right in front of her hoping she will yell back what I'm chanting. The only thing she is looking out for is what her friends are talking about or where the party's going to be later on that night. Don't get me wrong, there are also a fair amount of young guys who pay no attention or have no interest in the game other than to say that they were there. I just see the girl more often. The camera hog. To go along with the last type of fan, the camera hog fan is usually a girl looking to find her next profile picture opportunity. She will fake it until she makes it, pretending to enjoy the game to make for a great Facebook picture. These are the fans that make me laugh the most because 1 second they will be in the front row not paying attention at all, and then all of a sudden either a photographer or a cameraman walks by and they begin to go crazier than the craziest superfan you have ever seen. This is something I like to call turning it on. The fans can be a little lackluster at times, but as soon as the camera comes by, they begin cheering like there is no tomorrow. Too much fun tailgating. This type of fan is similar to the camera hog. They are looking for attention. They also come in all shapes and sizes, but they share one commonality. They have all been overserved before entering the stadium. Being overserved can end a few different ways, and I have seen them all. You could be escorted out in handcuffs because you got too excited and thought it would be cool to jump the railing of the student section just to stand, and I quote, where Kirk stands. Next is literally turning green in the face while standing up trying to cheer for the Hawks. This turns into sitting down to try and study the world. Next goes your head into your hands, and finally you run up the stairs to the bathroom. Lastly is the obnoxious Hawk fan, and there are many of them. I am sure everyone has experienced a crazy Hawk fan more than once. The amount of times I hear the phrase, "Hey cheerleader," at a game is unbelievable. This obnoxious fan is relentless. They will continue to scream at you until you give them the satisfaction of a response. In the O section last year, there was a man who was always overserved, but somehow managed to have fun no matter what. Every time we scored a touchdown, he would grab one of our signs and wave it in the air, getting the section ready to scream out, "Oh!" This is one of the only overserved fans that I loved. Needless to say, my 4 years of experiencing fans have been one of the best parts of being a Hawkeye cheerleader. I cannot believe I will be one of them come this time next year. I wonder if I will turn out like any of the fans I have listed.